The Middle East has been operating under a fragile, unspoken ceasefire. It is a delicate balance resting on a powder keg, where a single miscalculation in contested waters can ignite a regional war. The spark came when an Iranian Shahed drone crossed a critical boundary in the airspace above the Strait of Hormuz. It locked onto a highly sophisticated, multi-million-dollar US Apache helicopter and shot it directly out of the sky. Despite the total destruction of the aircraft, human casualties were avoided. Both American pilots were pulled from the water without injury by an autonomous, unmanned US drone boat. This diagram shows a direct cost and scale comparison between the two assets. A low-budget, highly efficient Shahed drone effortlessly dismantled a massive, expensive piece of conventional American military hardware. Washington cannot simply absorb the loss of top-tier military technology. Ignoring the destruction of an Apache projects a level of weakness a superpower cannot afford. By executing that highly calculated strike, Tehran trapped the US military in a corner. They forced an immediate response, stepping directly onto an unavoidable escalation ladder. Within hours, the United States launched rapid-fire kinetic airstrikes across southern Iran under the cover of darkness. This map shows the precise geographic areas hit in the retaliation: the coastal territories of Jask, Sirik, and Keshm Island. Notice the specific infrastructure targeted in these regions. The strikes destroyed a civilian telecommunications tower and leveled 2 large community water tanks in Sirik. By aiming directly at the water supply and communication lines, Washington is sending Tehran a stark, unspoken message. They are willing and able to disrupt everyday civilian life. Erasing the line between military targets and civilian necessities significantly increases the stakes, putting pressure on Tehran to prove its defense capabilities through a direct response. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps immediately mobilized their forces, signaling they would not back down from the airstrikes. The IRGC quickly claimed they had launched their own retaliatory drone strike directly at the US Fifth Fleet headquarters in Bahrain. Targeting the Fifth Fleet expands the theater of conflict. It pushes the violence out of isolated Iranian airspace and directly into the highly volatile waters of the Persian Gulf. Historically, Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi relies on patient, measured diplomacy during disputes, but his tone has completely shifted. Araghchi issued a blanket ultimatum, warning that all foreign military forces in the region must evacuate immediately, or they will be targeted. The strike on the Fifth Fleet, combined with Iraqi's ultimatum, signals the end of the ceasefire, placing foreign military installations in the region under direct threat. Both Washington and Tehran now stand at the absolute top of the escalation ladder. One more misstep means open war. The only threshold remaining is a mass casualty event. A single human error that results in American body bags will make a massive, devastating US counterattack inescapable. The primary wildcard driving this tension is President Trump's volatile standing at home. Facing intense public backlash, like being loudly booed by the crowd at the NBA Finals, puts immense political pressure on his shoulders. There is a history of erratic behavior during past crises. Reports indicate that US military generals previously had to deny the president access to nuclear codes during similar moments of geopolitical strain. A politically cornered leader who holds ultimate veto power makes this military standoff exponentially more unpredictable. Diplomatic pleas for restraint, like those issued by Pakistani Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, are completely failing to cut through the hostile rhetoric. The tension surrounding a single downed helicopter has evolved into a high-stakes standoff. Over the next 24 hours, the choices made by these leaders will determine if the region can pull back from a wider conflict.